bitches before I say you remember. Baby, say you remember. Baby, ooh, I love you till the end of time. Love you more than those bitches before. Say you remember. Fucking say you remember. Baby, ooh, I will love you till the end of time. Let's do this shit, damn it. Welcome to episode 22 of the Ringo Report. I'm your host, Brandon Ringo, and this is my podcast where I break down all the different music things that are happening in Central Arkansas, from shows to show announcements, show reviews, and things like that. There's a whole lot going on this summer in Central Arkansas, and specifically like in the next week or so. So I'm going to break it down and start talking about the show calendar. Tonight, Thursday night, there's at a Sterling Market in Little Rock, Among Wallflowers, which is like a new like up and coming indie act, and local favorites Buckshot Princess are gonna be playing. Sterling Market's a really cool place down kind of by the River Market area, like by Fidel and Company Coffee and stuff, and like. It's a cool stage. It's a cool environment, and so the food there is really good. So that'll be a great place for a show. Another show that's happening tonight is Kind Eyes, The Cutthroats, Consequence, and Between You and God are all going to be playing at the Eyes Up House. And if you don't know where Eyes Up House is, either they have like either message the band Second Life, or somebody will basically ask a punk. You can even message me and I would be happy to tell you where it's at. So Eyes Up House has a cool show with the band Kind Eyes. It's going to be a really cool hardcore show. And then a kind of a more laid back show happening at Whitewater Tavern tonight. From Portland, Oregon, songwriter Mike Kuykendall is going to be playing. And then happening Friday night at the Rev Room, there's a local love showcase being sponsored by Archangel Games. So there's going to be a bunch of a bunch of cool stuff happening down there, as well as live music from bands like Coach Light and Joshua Cannon. Which Coach Light is a band that I got to see at Meetings at the Monster, and like their vocalist is so awesome. Their guitarists they're just so every member of that band is intensely talented, and they're so good. Like their live show is really cool. They have some cool lights. So seeing them at the Rev Room is a wonderful place. So this is going to be a cool show. Another really, really badass local show that's happening Friday night at Vino's. Local band Second Life is going to be celebrating their EP release. They're going to be doing so alongside Vulgarity, Open Casket, and Through Blood. So this is just going to be an absolute ass beater of a show. It's gonna be really fun, and so Second Life, they've worked very hard to get this new album out, and so they deserve to have a cool party for it. Another show that's happening on Friday night is Emily Fenton's gonna be playing at the Whitewater Tavern alongside Daykisser, a band from Memphis. And then on Saturday at Vino's, they're going to be having a kind of like a new wave dance party sponsored by like Retro Modern. That's going to be a benefit for KABF. KABF's the local TV radio station that's been around for like 40 years, and it's like it's like community supported and stuff. And they've been a big part of this town. They always, other shows are always playing local artists and stuff, and so it's a great way for local bands to have their music play on the radio for the first time. So this benefit's going to be a cool thing, and it's like it's really fun, like retro 80s dance music, which God, it's wild that it's like that was like 40 years ago, but yeah. So also, a cool show happening Saturday night at the Whitewater Tavern is Rachel Ammons is going to be performing. And then in Conway at Full Moon Records, Limited Media is going to be doing a launch party. It's like Limited Media Visuals. It's a friend of mine that's an excellent photographer. Now he's kind of getting into doing shows and stuff. So they're going to be having a launch party with Frail State, who hasn't played. It's been a little bit since Frail State's played around here. Also Zilla, Time Well Wasted, Diet Sweets, and Midnight Wagon. So it's a really kind of a stacked lineup that they've got going on at Full Moon on Saturday. So that's going to be cool. And then Sunday, there's a couple of shows going on. Never Come Down is going to be playing at the Whitewater Tavern. And then there's a really interesting mixed genre show happening at Vino's on Sunday. It's it's Soulblind, Stand Still, A Sky So Black, and Stressor. It was what the original bill was, and it was kind of like more of a shoegazy alternative kind of show. And then they added a band called Torture to the lineup, which I think they're from Kentucky. I know they just played Knocked Loose, big record release show in Louisville, and so they're kind of like a death metal with very interesting vocals. And so so this show's gonna be really cool. And then another really cool, death metal band called Chasm is going to be coming through on Monday. They're going to be playing at the Sour House, which if you don't know where Sour House is, their Instagram is SourHouse501. You can message them, or like I said, message me, or anybody that's like in the scene will be able to tell you. But yeah, so it's Chasm, Pull Your Card, and First to Burn, which is an upcoming hardcore band that's got members of Terminal Nation and stuff. So Chasm played a Friday Night Fight Metal, I believe, either this year or last year, and with Terminal Nation and Cruelty, and so they are definitely a really badass band, and definitely this show is something to keep an eye out on. And then another show that's happening on Tuesday, this is going to be at the Rev Room. So the band Upon a Burning Body, who's kind of deathcore, kind of more modern, I don't really know what you would call it, to be honest with you. I'm old and not good with genres anymore. But Upon a Burning Body is going to be playing at the Rev Room. I remember this band when they were nobodies, and I got to book a show for them in Monroe, Louisiana, of all places, and they were so nice and they were so cool. And so I'm really glad that they're able to do these big tours. They're touring with Mushroom Head and stuff. So the fact that they're bringing their tour to the Rev Room is really cool. It's going to feature support from Until I Wake, Mike's Dead, Dawn of Ascension from El Dorado, who's a really, really cool local band there that's up and coming. And then also another really awesome band from Arkansas called A Trader's Funeral. So this is going to be a really, really good show. It's a very heavy show, especially if you like breakdowns, death metal, or, angry music. This is a big, awesome show. New album that's come out recently that I wanted to talk about that I had referenced earlier is the new Second Life EP, Bad News. It's 5 songs. It came out at the end of on June 7th, and it's just absolutely violent, hardcore, very similar to what you'd be used to if you listen to their last album, American Nightmare. And what this band doing, they just keep writing cool riffs and keep making cool songs, and they're always on the road doing cool stuff. And one thing that's cool is they actually have a couple of features on the album. One of them is from the band Primitive Rage, who is from Missouri, and also they've got a guest vocal spot from the band Agony, who also believes from Missouri. So it's neat to see those connections that they've been making on the road kind of coming together for them. And so if you want to listen to some new music that's really awesome, Second Life's new EP is definitely worth checking out. Also, there's a really cool show that was announced the day of this recording. Bad Religion, the legendary punk band, they're going to be coming to the Hall on October 4th. Now, they don't have any, it hasn't announced what bands are coming with them yet, but it's definitely going to be a banger of a show. I remember last time I saw them was at Vans Warped Tour, probably 20 years ago. So it's really cool that Bad Religion is going to be coming here. And then another show that was announced recently at the Rev Room, October 26th, it's going to be Mason Ramsey, who you may know as the Yodel Boy. He's going to be coming here with Haley Kearns. That show's probably going to sell out more than likely, so you definitely want to get your ticket for that, especially if you are a big fan of yodeling. I also wanted to do a review of a show that I went to recently that was really cool. It was Bareness, Portrayal of Guilt, and Filth is Eternal. I had never seen Bareness before, and I'd always wanted to, and they just their live show was it's more than I could have ever imagined, honestly. Down to even the structure of the first band, Filth is Eternal. It was they were heavy, and they were their own type of they were kind of hardcore, and then it escalated with Portrayal of Guilt. Was more power violence, noise, death metal, just it was real sludgy. They were really, I was insanely impressed by that band. They were so good. And then Baroness, like, they came out and they played songs from all their albums. And like one of my favorite things about it was just watching, like, every time they would switch to a new song, the lights would correspond with the color of the album that the song was from. So if they played like Isaac, the lights went red. When they played like A Horse Called Golgotha, it was like blue. It was just so cool to see that little aesthetic that just made it so perfect. And so, yeah, if you get a chance to see Baroness, or if you've never heard of them and this is the first time you're hearing it, you should check them out. It's like kind of the new wave of like Thin Lizzy like type of metal. Even their new stuff doesn't even really sound like that, but they just have so many cool like twin guitar harmonies and stuff, and it sounded even more incredible live, especially with their guitarist Gina Gleason. She's just an absolute shred monster. So that does it for this week's episode of the Ringo Report. Be sure and check out this week's episode of Crashcast featuring Asa and Kennedy from Dryer Fire. Also, I believe they're in Chain Snatcher. And so, so definitely check that out. They're hilarious and absolutely worth watching. Be sure and follow the Ringo Report on Instagram and Facebook. And also be sure and follow the Crashcast page and keep up with everything going on with that. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you again.